Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to practice some more with my alcohol marker coloring. You're going to notice that periodically on my channel I'm just going to do these types of cards, and I am doing this on screen for you just hopefully to give you like the confidence to try it if you're a novice like I am. But also a lot of times when I watch people do this, I pick up on tips and I learn things. So hopefully you can gather something. I do have a list of basic supplies listed down below for you, as well as some of my very favorite stamps I like to use when practicing how to color. I am trying to focus on doing skin tones lately, and so that's why I am in love with these lovely legs by Colorado Crafts. And for this month, I wanted to create some birthday cards to have in my stash. I don't know about you, but a lot of times when someone's birthday comes around, oftentimes I don't always have a card. So this year I'm trying to be a little bit more diligent with getting cards done that I can actually give out. The ones that I make often just sit there because they're not a practical use. So I'm going to be definitely focusing on things like birthdays and Christmas, and I'll share that all with you here. I am using the Memento ink. That is the best ink I have ever used for Copic markers. There are others out there that say that they work. However, I have not had that luck. A lot of times they'll ruin the nub of my Copic marker. Copic markers, as you know, are not cheap. So it's super important to me that the ink that I use will not ruin my marker, and it also will hold the line. I like to do my stamping in a little misty simply because I can stamp it twice and get some really great crisp images going. And I'm going to pop up on the top here a sentiment. I am doing this in, actually, Catherine Pooler has a really nice black that I like to do my sentiments in because it's nice and crisp. And since I'm not going to be using any kind of my Copic coloring up there, it's totally okay if I stamp with this different ink on this card. I do not know if Catherine Pooler, I think it's a Midnight Black that I'm using, is alcohol ink safe. So I think I've tried it. And you really, really, really have to let it dry. Like I said, I just like to go back to my one that I have listed for you down below. I know that it's safe. I know that it's good. But I do like Catherine Pooler, the black one that she has for all of my sentiments. It's such a beautiful ink to do that with. So I have a couple different inks, obviously, that I use. You're going to see me use a couple different ink pads on this. One was the Memento. You're going to see me use Catherine Pooler. And then later on in the video, you're going to actually see me use some Simon Hurley, which is a dye ink base. And then finally, I'm going to ink the edges with archival ink. So 4 different inks and ink pads on this video, which, as long as you're being mindful of where you're using your Copic markers and then maybe where you're using your other ink blending, I just like to get the stamping done in the beginning like this, get it over with and done. And you're going to see me put my signature down there too. I also have discovered this card panel, this card base by Wendy. I have it down below for you as well. I need to stop saying that. Everything I'm using is down below for you as far as the basics go. I do pull in a couple things here and there that are not down there, but this is just a basic supply list for you to use. I encourage you to get those things, and then whatever else I'm using at the end with the stencils, with the little glossy dots, totally use what's in your stash. I mean, let's just burn through the stash. Can we just make a deal that we don't do that enough? Let's just get through that stash and use those things. But to color your images in, definitely use what I have recommended for you down below. So this cardstock I am really pleased with. Sometimes finding Copic safe paper can be challenging, and what you color on is super important. And so this cardstock is really nice. I love how it absorbs the ink, but yet it doesn't necessarily run over or buckle. Sometimes that can happen because Copic markers can be exceptionally juicy. And so you have to have a paper that can handle that. I also like to do my coloring on top of a piece of copy paper. Now, I went ahead and put the copy paper between the panel, and that's because I don't want it to bleed through to the other panel that has my sentiment on the inside. So I just slid it right between there. That's going to catch any of that excess ink, and it will not reabsorb into the paper, which will give you your out of line type drawing, but it also won't absorb onto the underside of that paper and mess up my sentiment that I have inside my card. I did go ahead and take off for this particular marker both ends of the caps on both ends. What that does is it allows your nub not to get completely flooded and eventually flood your artwork. You want to start off with the lightest color. Then you're going to go in with your medium tone. When in doubt, just use the numbers on the caps in order, and that'll give you perfect blending. This always scared me. When I first started using these Copic markers, I would do this and I would get, my 3 colors down, and then I would go back through and it was blotchy. Well, there's a reason why it's blotchy. You have to blend it through. And a lot of people think that that's what the colorless blender is for. The colorless blender is not really a blender at all. It's actually an eraser. I don't even like to use the colorless blender anymore. I like to go back through if I have things that are out of line and either blend it with another color with the alcohol markers. So if I bleed out, let's say on, some of my arms here, if that happens to, if I get out of the lines on the dress, I just color in my dress like I normally would, and that color blends in. It's totally fine. Or you'll see what I'll do at the end is I'll take a white jelly roll pen and I'll just go over those spots that are completely out of the lines. But in order to blend your colors, you want to go back through with what I'm doing right now and use that lighter color. And that, as you can tell, will take away the splotchiness and you'll get a beautiful blend. I also don't blend each and everything on my image. I am going to blend her legs and the dress. And then everything else, I'm just using one layer of color, just one color for each of that. To me, that's enough. Some people want to go through and really get meticulous with that. That's really great if you want to practice, but that's not my style. I'm still a little bit lazy here, so I am just going to be blending and shading my flesh as well as my dress. I want to take this opportunity to invite you, if you're enjoying content like this, to make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell for notifications when I do have a video that comes out. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or recommendations down below, please feel free to leave them. I love to hear from you guys. I try to read everything that's posted. If you enjoy this video, help me out with the YouTube algorithm and hit that like and share. In order for me to continue to bring you free content on YouTube, a lot of artists are going over to other paid subscription services for their viewers. I've been asked why I won't do it, and it's because I really believe in sharing knowledge and growing and creating an extensive community. But in order to do that, I have to use YouTube. But I do make a little bit of an income on this so that I can continue to bring you free resources, free video tutorials, and that happens 2 ways. It happens from ad revenue here on YouTube. So every time an ad pops up, I do get a little bit of a kickback from that. And that just pays me so that you can continue to get the free stuff. And then the other thing is my affiliated links that I do have down below. Those, whenever you click through and you purchase anything off of that list using my link, I get a little bit of a kickback from the company at no extra cost to you. Sometimes you actually get a discount from the company for using it, because really, honestly, this is free advertisement for you, for them as well. So they want to thank me, and thank you. And so it helps me out greatly. That's how it pretty much works on YouTube. I know a lot of people get irritated with the ads and things like that, but in all honesty, I wish I could just sit around and create art all day, but I do have to, pay my bills and things like that. I am a teacher full-time right now. And so what this does is this just helps me continue to bring you free content on YouTube. And I can go ahead and purchase, the Copic markers and things like that so that you can see things. It just helps keep my channel funded instead of going to another platform in which you would actually have to pay for a membership or something like that. I don't want to do that. And I would like to stay here, and I would really appreciate it if you guys can help me out with that. I truly appreciate you guys. I couldn't do what I'm doing without you, and I just want to thank you for all the support I have gotten over the years. All right, so I'm just going in and finishing up the chair right here. Again, I am not doing any kind of blending on this. I'm just trying to get the gist of it done. Today when I was creating this, I really wanted to use, I don't know, maybe I saw something, but like that Tiffany blue, I was really inspired by that. So I ended up using like a minty color and like a pale pink, so I thought it was pale pink, on my gifts, as well as the little balloons here. So, so that's kind of what inspired me. I wanted a super fun, pretty card. And so those are my choices on my color choices here. I do have listed for you down there a really great starter Copic set that has some really wonderful primary colors in it, as well as this set that I'm using for skin tones, which is great. It takes the brain work out of it. I don't have to think about it. So I love that set. I also have the sketches down there for you because they tend to be a bit more economical than the single ones that you can buy at your block or your brick and mortar store. So that's great for people that are just learning. And also, if you don't know if you really want to dive into coloring, adult coloring with alcohol markers, it's a great way to try it for a reasonable price. And if you like it, cool, you got some great markers, and you know that you can start to replace out those with your nice markers, the ones that you buy, that you can buy one at a time. They're anywhere between, I think they're like $8 or $9 a piece. So Copic markers are not cheap, but they're super good. So this is the same ink, just in a more economical pen. And that's what I have down for you below. I'm going to do a little bit of shading down here on the floor, on the ground. And as I'm doing this, why don't you tell me down below in the comment section, what was your favorite birthday? Whether it was an experience or a gift or a dessert, tell me your favorite birthday memory. I would love to know what your favorite birthday memory is. Just answer it down below for me, and let's just have a little bit of fun with this. All right, so there she is. She's pretty much all colored in, and now I am actually going to clean it up with that white gel roll pen there's a couple different spots that I couldn't blend that color through. So I'm going through with my white Jelly Roll right there and just blending it on through. Totally takes care of it. Can't tell it's there anymore. You want to give it a minute to dry before you do anything else to it. If you want, if you're done, it's fine. But if you want to do what I'm doing, where you're adding a stencil and some blending with some other ink for a background, give it a minute to dry because it will smudge. But it doesn't take long. It's a pretty quick dry there. So I am going to stop my voice recording, put on a little bit of music for you as you can see how I finish out this card. And I cannot wait to read your favorite birthday memories. And I look forward to catching you guys later, whether that is here on YouTube. I hope it's here on YouTube. But you can also follow me over on Instagram, though I'm primarily focusing over here on YouTube. But on Instagram, sometimes I'll post the finished pictures of what I'm doing, and you can get some behind the scenes of what's going on in my art studio as well. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of this card. I can't wait to see you on the other side.